My 11-year-old son recently made my wife, Vicky, a cup of tea. It was wonderful, really, because it was spontaneous. He decided he was going to make Mum her morning cuppa. It wasn't something he'd ever done before. I have absolutely no idea what prompted it, and he certainly didn't offer to make me a coffee. It took him 2 attempts. The first go was a minor disaster, and I had to give him a few pointers to get him through the process. But in the end, that cup of tea was presented to my wife, and it was drinkable, just about, but absolutely made with love. The thing is, it would have been easy for Vicky to pick up that cup of tea and look at the deep brown colour and wonder whether the tea bag is still in the cup somewhere, lurking, hidden, making it even stronger. It would have been easy to look at it and decide that she would rather make one for herself, the way that she liked it. But sometimes the very best thing to do is to graciously accept something for the sake of someone else. Our son put love and joy and pride into that cup, and rejecting it would have been heartbreaking for him and me. I think it is important for us all to live with a generosity of spirit. And a generosity of spirit, I think, means to have a heart that wants to give. And sometimes that means graciously accepting the gift of a cup of tea from someone else, even though it isn't quite the way you'd make it yourself, because you know that it will bless the giver. Sometimes it means accepting someone else's help on something that you'd rather do alone, because you know that they will grow through the experience, or your relationship will grow through it. Sometimes it means giving a bit of your time to listen to a story that you have heard many times before, because the person telling it needs the company. Sometimes generosity of spirit is forgiving those who have unintentionally hurt you. Sometimes it is clearing up a mess that you did not make. Sometimes it is offering hospitality or your expertise for the sake of someone else, to help them, to build them up, to encourage them, to enable them to feel a sense of pride or accomplishment. The Bible calls followers of Jesus to be generous. And sometimes this is about what we do with our wealth or our stuff, but generosity goes far deeper than that. It is about giving something of ourselves that someone else might gain. It is an attitude rather than something we necessarily do. And this is what Jesus did time and again. He was interrupted and pursued and sought out by those in need, and he would stop and give and teach and feed and heal. To be generous is one of our core values here at Whitley Bay Baptist Church. This is what we've said about it. We believe in a loving, generous God, and we are called to be generous towards others. We do this by supporting individuals and organisations sharing the good news of Jesus across the world, by serving one another and our community with our gifts, time and finances, and by using our building for the sake of God's kingdom. Sometimes I think that maybe we struggle to think about how we might be generous with what we have, especially in those times when we seem to have a little less to go around ourselves. But generosity of spirit, as I said, is not so much about what we do, but about how we live. It is an attitude of graciousness, of giving, of looking to what will help others. It is an attitude that doesn't mind being waylaid in order to spend time with the lonely, doesn't mind giving up the sandwich we've just bought for ourselves to feed the hungry. An attitude that is happy to share our wisdom and experience. An attitude that's not put out by the needs of others. An attitude that doesn't resent helping out with jobs and chores that really belong to someone else. I wonder when the last time was that someone showed you this kind of generosity of spirit, and what impact that had on you. I wonder how you might be able to integrate this kind of generosity into the way that you live.